Thank you for coming back for our second video from the IDC WIN 2024 Tech Day. In this video, Ryan Webb will discuss the true power of a CRM, and how using your CRM can not only help you find new opportunities for growth, but also protect you from a compliance standpoint. Let's join Don Hart as he introduces Ryan Webb.
We support Equisoft, as you know, and we have Ryan Webb from Equisoft here today to give us a little bit of, the power of the right CRM. Why would you use a CRM? What impact does a CRM have on you? And how do you use their particular CRM? So Ryan, why don't you come on out here and join me, and then I'll let you take over and give us a little, your message today about the CRM and the power of that CRM.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Don, and thanks everyone for having me here today. So my name is Ryan Webb. I'm actually heading the advisor marketing side of the business at Equisoft. I love the intro, Don. I think, and Karthik also spoke a lot about AI, and I think that when it comes to a CRM is very much about people. It's about that. It says it right in the name. It's the client relationship management, and it's really about relationship management, which is key as a financial advisor. I think that the goal of correctly using a CRM and the power of the right CRM is when you are able to actually reduce your repetitive tasks, reduce any of that to automate any manual and repetitive tasks, and to just allow you to spend more time with your clients. So like I said, my name's Ryan Webb. Thanks for having me. I'm with Equisoft, head B2C marketing over at which is our advisor marketing side of the business. Why am I talking to you about a CRM today? Why isn't it a product expert or something like that on the phone? As a marketer, the CRM is the backbone of my day-to-day. I've led growth and growing clients at two now public companies. Saw one company, Lightspeed, through IPO. They're listed now both on the Toronto Stock Exchange as well as the New York Stock Exchange. And the key to that success, the key to successfully growing your business, and this applies to the advisor field as well, is just being able to look at your data quickly, understand your customers, know ways that you can cross-sell and upsell to those customers. And of course, Don kind of mentioned the avatar, but knowing who your ideal customer is going to help you find more customers like your ideal customer. So I think that's where it's really, really important, is that a lot of people, especially when I talk to advisors, they've thought of the CRM as a bit of a rolodex. And I know Don kind of alluded to this, but it's a lot of people think that a CRM is just a list of all your contacts that you've ever done business with. And hey, maybe there's some way that I can use this. Maybe when I do try to sell my book of business at a later date, that I can take this and say, hey, here are all the people I've ever done business with. But that's really not enough. Like, the power of a CRM is to use it every day, set it up in such a way that you actually have to use it very little. And that's kind of the key thing, is that you invest that time in the beginning on automating your deal flow, looking at your pipeline, building out how you're going to communicate with clients, adding integrations where you need those integrations. There's some other great tools that are presenting, Advisor Stream being one of them. Like, if you can automate your content and how it's being emailed out from your CRM and use other integrations to do so, that's very, very powerful. And going back to the human aspect, is once you can automate these repetitive tasks, you don't have to spend as much time in your CRM, and that means more time for yourself, but that it also means more time for your clients, for that face-to-face or Zoom to Zoom nowadays that you do with other people. So correctly using a CRM, it's not a Rolodex. It can help you close new deals, definitely help you grow your existing book of business. Cross-sell and upsell is key. Automate those tasks. It really can assist in compliance. I will never say that anything will make you compliant, but it can definitely help when it comes to compliance, and 100% it's going to save you time. Now, Equisoft has a advisor first CRM system. It's been built by advisors for advisors. So, there are a lot of options for CRMs out there, but I think that one of the keys with choosing the right CRM as a financial advisor is making sure that it fits you. As I said, I'm a marketer. There's Monday.com for marketers is great, like HubSpot also for marketers. But if you're using HubSpot or Monday, and I'm not trying to talk negatively of the competition, it might miss some particular pieces that are valuable to a financial advisor. I think pipeline management, automation, every CRM has that. That's table stakes. Network and contact mapping. This is super, super useful, so you can know who you have within your network, not just husband and wife, but how other people are related, those relationships. This is very, very important. I think that I've talked to advisors and they said some of the tricks that they've told me about growing their business is that when someone's happy, it doesn't have to be a formal NPS score, but if someone is happy with the service you provide, they should be willing to refer other people to you. And you can actually look at who your contacts have referred to you, and even contacts that you have a good relationship with that maybe haven't referred someone with you. And sometimes just as simple as, hey, if you like what I'm doing, can you refer someone to me? That goes a long way. And sometimes it's not just that people are afraid to ask, but sometimes people don't know to ask because maybe they think that they've asked that question. They think that this person has maybe referred business to them, but they don't know for sure. That's definitely a very cool piece of a CRM system, and especially if you have the right CRM system. Data integrations, data importing, that's something that's really key. We pull data from Worldsource on a daily basis. Is pretty much these in real time. You can see what investments, what insurance policies that your clients have right on the contact card within the CRM. So when I talk about it being a CRM for financial advisors, I think that's one of the great pieces that we have. And one of our biggest strengths is that you don't have to manually enter like how much does your client have in this account and that account and put that within your CRM. This is all done automatically for you. So that'll save a lot of time. I talked about expanding functionality with integrations. We have a ton of integrations and a ton of great companies that we integrate with. So if there is something you feel you can't do, maybe you want to speed up the process of booking meetings, let's just say. So everyone hates when it's like, hey, does Wednesday work for you? No, it doesn't work. What's your Thursday morning look like? Oh, my Thursday morning's busy. Let's do Friday afternoon. Everyone hates that. We integrate fully with your calendar, whether it's with Outlook or whatever calendar software that you use. We don't have a direct integration with Calendly, but if Calendly, as an example, is a tool that you use to book appointments, or even with your Microsoft booking tool, you can send people a link, allow them to choose a time at their convenience, which is also available for you. They can book that meeting and a task will be created to call that person at that time in the CRM. And you'll also have that calendar, that spot of your calendar now booked for that client at that time. Other great pieces, of course, are out-of-box forms and content. No more searching for forms. You can find that within the CRM. We have thousands and thousands of investments and insurance and client intake and other forms that you can use. And then lastly, I think something that is overlooked, but I said we can't make you compliant, but through contact records, every contact with a client is secure. Every contact with a client is recorded, so that you can always go back and see, what have I done with that client in the past, and that'll be kept up to date within your CRM. So I think, I'll kind of dive a little deeper into each of those. But for the initial part, you can close more deals with a CRM. And like people have their elevator pitch, they have someone that's interested in potentially bringing you on as their financial advisor. They might give you a business card, whatever it might be. Now, yes, I know you're going to tuck it in your wallet, that business card, and you're going to say, I'm going to call them later. But you can automate that entire process. You can say, okay, I'm going to call them. If I get a voicemail, do this. If I don't get a voicemail, do that. If I speak to them on the phone and they seem interested, what's the next step? You can plan all this out within your CRM, and you can also automate that follow-up so that you don't have to do it manually. Engaging them with email. If they seem like they're just more what we would call in marketing top of the funnel, i.e. not ready to buy, you might want to put them into some sort of nurture stream. Position yourself as an expert, share content with them, maybe get some content from some of the other great companies that we just talking here today, but you can put that in. You can put customized emails, really nice looking emails. We integrate with MailChimp, so you can send out emails through our system with MailChimp style designs, but you can also put a lot of different content in there, trying to engage, position yourself as an expert until they're ready to take that next step. Or if someone's ready to actually start working with you immediately, you can send them forms that they need to sign, client intake that they might need to do, everything will be shared with them securely. You can let them book meetings, as I said, at their convenience to follow up with you. And everything from the initial forms, the initial discovery, and to the deal signed, all that can be actually stored within your CRM system. I'm seeing a question on the call recording here from Maria. So if you use Equisoft, we actually have there's a button within the system itself where when you dial out, you can click record call. So it actually gives it's going to give you a number that you dial. So maybe it's a toll-free number that you dial, and it's actually going to appear as though it's coming from your cell phone when you call a client. We have unlimited storage with Equisoft. So the entire phone call is recorded as an MP4. It's stored within the system. We don't yet have call transcription, but that's something that should be released in the very near future. We're actually using an AI tool to do that. But all that will be stored. We have people that store hundreds, if not thousands of phone calls, and they store terabytes worth of data with us. We don't charge extra like some companies do for data, for the data that you're using. Obviously, there might be a change in the future if people are using way too much. We might have to charge a bit more on the per gigabyte. But one of the things that's really great with our current system is that there's no initial plans to change, is that people can really store as many forms, as many phone calls, as many documents as they want within our system. We kind of can even replace a Dropbox or something like that. I've had clients ask me like, hey, I've got Dropbox, how do I move my files from Dropbox over to Equisoft? One, it's very easy to do, but two, why do you even have Dropbox if you have unlimited data storage and that with your CRM system? In terms of growing your book, I think that's also a really the biggest part that with Equisoft Connect, our CRM system. And I mean, you can do this with a lot, but there's a wealth of data within your CRM. And we have advanced filtering, advanced searching, so that you can find groups of clients within your list that you might want to target. Maybe you've just done a course or gotten some CE credits on the new capital gains rules. You want to be able to discuss that with a particular client who's going to get big have a big stock sale and you want or they're selling a property or whatever it might be. You want to discuss capital gains with them. Maybe you want to look for all the clients in your Rolodex, so to speak, that have an investment with you but not insurance. Maybe you want to do a very targeted campaign to people over 60 living in Toronto, about to retire, who you want to follow up with. Or maybe you just want to look for clients who in your CRM who've just added a new dependent. Maybe they added a child, but they haven't done a financial needs analysis with you recently, or maybe they don't have an RESP for that child. So there's all these things can be found by sorting and going through different filters within the CRM itself. This can actually then be taken even further, is that you have that group, or sorry to reuse Don's word, but you have that avatar of, hey, this is what this client looks like. But then you can plug that into marketing campaigns. You can send customized emails. And when I say customized, it's the same email going to everyone, but you've actually probably seen in the back end of a CRM system, you can actually say hello and then type in like first name here in squiggly brackets, and it will actually populate with the whoever it is, his first name and their company and things like that. So like if you wanted to reach out to all those people and say, hi, Bob, Steve, Mary, Allison, whatever the name of the people are for those 4 people. I know you haven't done an F&A with us in 6 months, 6 years, however long it's been. You can actually send out that email and say it's time to do a new F&A with us. In terms of automating repetitive tasks, obviously you can automate your client intake process, make sure that they're getting the right forms. You can use secure mail to send these forms to clients securely. That's something I'd love to touch on a little bit. I think I talk on a bit about it in the compliance slide. Sorry, not speaking correctly today. In the compliance slide, I speak a little bit on this, but when you send an email, you can send different documents securely. They're actually hosted on Equisoft servers. So it's a link that's provided to your client. It's password protected. You have the ability to allow it to expire after a certain amount of time. Maybe it's after a day, maybe it's on completion, whatever it might be. You can also password protect that link, and you can also delete that link on your side. So like, let's say I send someone an email and I sent it to their work email and not to their personal email, and they say, please don't send to my work email. I can actually delete that, that link, make it inactive. So if anyone does happen upon it, it's actually no longer valid. I can also password protect that and share with the client over the phone or through a kind of private message, a private key, so that only they can access it. This keeps their data secure, it keeps their documents secure, and also makes you look a little more professional if you're doing it this way. And if you don't want to use the secure documents within Equisoft itself, we also have integrations with Chat and Sign as well as DocuSign, so that you can do something similar. Obviously, you have to pay a little extra for those added services, but we have a very, very robust features as well that you can push within your CRM. Going more on the compliance side, so we've talked about the secure emails, we've talked about recording all the phone calls, but a lot of people when we do our customer research say that like the biggest value they have is when they're challenged actually by clients with storing this data. Some people might say, hey, you didn't tell me that this investment had this particular risk. And you can actually go back and show this in your email. You can show it in the footer of the emails. If you decide to put it, in the footers, you can have that call recording where you actually discuss things with them. If you're ever asked to provide proof for KYC or KYP, know your customer, know your product requirements, you have that ability as well. Also meeting notes, any follow-up conversations that you're supposed to have. All this can be done, and as I mentioned, it's all, you can store as much as you want. You can store your own personal forms, you can store existing forms, you can store completed forms, you can store phone calls, you can store emails, meeting notes, anything as much as you want. There's unlimited data storage with our system, and I think that's something that's also extremely powerful. Now, why is this valuable? Why is that so powerful for a CRM? Is that it reduces the amount of time that you have to spend on your system. I know it sounds like a lot. We talked about client scheduling, people going back and forth, but you set something up once and then you can forget it. And I think that's something that I like to hammer home, is that like you spend 5 hours a year, and I don't know how people would actually calculate that, but let's say you spend 5 hours a year with that back and forth that I talked about. Does Wednesday work? How about Thursday? No, let's do next Monday. Maybe you spend multiple emails, you're waiting to hear a response back from a client, you're checking your email to see why they haven't answered, the client's waiting to see if you're good for that particular time. You set it up once, you set up your calendar connection within with a tool like Calendarly, or with a tool any other tool that connects to your CRM. You do that once, and now any future communication, you can say to your clients, check the footer of my email. You can book anytime that's convenient to you. If you have a client intake process, hey, we want clients to answer this particular form, as soon as they're entered into our system. Hi, thank you for your interest. Can you please fill out this form so we can get to know you a bit better? This can be automated with your CRM. So anyone new that's added to your CRM, you can put them into a list, and you can send out an email to them, a very professionally crafted email if you want. And you can actually then have that automated. So it's a one-time thing. You do it once, and then it's completed. Antonio, yes, I can actually share with Dawn and maybe the team at IDC. So we have over 100 companies that we pull data from. We do have a list on our website. It's a little hard to find, but I can share with you the list. We also have a PDF that the team can share if you want access to that. Moving on to the next slide. Actually, I think that was kind of the end there. So, in terms of why I work with Equisoft, I know a lot of you have probably heard of Equisoft. Don really pushes us, and the team at IDC really pushes our product, and we very much appreciate that. We also offer a substantial discount to IDC advisors for going with Equisoft, but we've been in the business since the early 90s. This is actually past our 30th year, 20 plus years with advisor tools, as well as policy admin modernization with carriers and with other larger companies. We have close to 1,000 employees in over 8 different countries, and we work with over 250 different financial institutions worldwide, with a large chunk of those in Canada and the United States. And then in terms of like how the process works, some people are always, we've done research. 50% of Canadian advisors don't have CRM systems, and as many as 20% of US financial advisors don't have CRM systems in place. If you sign up, you get a discount. Usually within a few days, you can have, actually even within a few hours, access to your system. If you do have existing data that you want to import in, we do typically charge for that data import. I can probably, anyway, it does take about 3 to 5 hours. I just want to be transparent. 3 to 5 hours at 175. I think most people would pay around $500 to import all their existing data from existing CRM to do a data conversion. But then you move on to the onboarding, and this is where the specialist really can help you set up, make sure that your data is flowing from any partners that you might be using, including IDC, into the system in near real time. And then we also provide ongoing support. So you have access to a customer service agent. You are actually assigned as our tier 1. I hate to say it, but it means top priority because you're part of IDC. So that means you have a guaranteed response time of 24 hours for any support requests. We also have videos and articles in the help center. But overall, the total time commitment on the advisor side, from doing a demo, if you need one, to doing the onboarding, to setting up your system, to making sure everything's working correctly, and then any additional follow-up calls, just to make sure after your data has been imported that everything's working as you wanted it to, is about 2.5 hours. But it's going to save you probably 10 to 20 times that just in your first year alone, in terms of the automations and the simplicity that you'll find with your day-to-day. And then with that time that you get back, that's where you can really do what you do best. And you can do that human side of it, advising. You're not in front of your computer, you're in front of your client, and you can work with them to sell to them. So yeah, I think that's it for me. I'm gonna pass it back to Dawn unless there's any additional questions, but thanks everyone for taking the time today.